Greetings, it is I, Shepherd Shang, and yeah, I have beaten Cassette Beasts. It's really good. Um, the very first video game I ever owned was Pokemon Red on my Game Boy Pocket back in '99. Uh, I love the monster collecting genre. I played a bunch of games like that. The second game I owned was called Dragon Warrior Monsters. It was a monster collecting game from the Dragon Warrior slash Dragon Quest series. Also very good, very dated. Uh, Yeah, I love the monster collecting genre. It's great. Um, Set Beast is great. It is not a Pokemon clone. I have actually heard people compare it more to Digimon games. I don't really know. I don't know if I've ever actually played any of the Digimon games. Can't really say for certain. Um, but no, it does its own thing. It takes some of its cues from existing games like Pokemon and such, but it does its own thing. It has its own story, which is pretty sure it's non-linear. Um, You'd have to ask someone who knows more about it, but I'm pretty sure the game actually has completely non-linear progression. I think you can technically go to the game's final dungeon before you complete the tutorial, but I'm not completely sure. Uh, Again, look up a speed run if you're interested in that. 'Cause honestly, that seems kind of interesting. Um, yeah, I really like the game's aesthetic too. Um, what else? Oh, uh, if you're interested in playing the game, it is still being supported. I think it was April 8th, the game got a new content update. It added multiple new monsters, a new playable character with a quest line, and a unique dungeon associated with that character. And the game came out in, I want to say it was 2023. It is currently April 23rd, 2025. Yeah, that's real good. Like the developers of this game are still supporting it and they're still doing stuff with it. As part of the update they did, which was completely free by the way, they also added paid DLC which added some new cosmetics. Which, oh no, paid DLC with just cosmetics? Well, when I say this is a small team, I mean they're like less than 10 people that work on this game. And it's a sprite game, not a 3D game. So those little cosmetics look great. And even though the DLC was like $5, I'm willing to pay that because I know it's going to a small team, not a huge multi-billion conglomerate trading out AI slop. So yeah, that I'd absolutely encourage you to buy the DLC if you want the game, because it's just a little bit of extra. Let's see, what else? What can I say without spoiling the game? I really enjoyed let's call it progression elements. Yeah, I mentioned that I'm pretty sure the game is technically non-linear. Um, I haven't experimented with that really. Uh, I I was willing to get a little bit of spoilers on this game, so I did a little bit of exploration outside of my, let's call it skill range, uh, and got rewarded for it. I also got punished by it. Uh, what game? I just ooh, for a good thing to talk about with that. The game has a bunch of customization options. You know how like how Pokemon people have created the Nuzlocks and stuff, like randomizers and stuff. This game has built-in features for that. It has built-in difficulty settings, which I again haven't messed with. Um, Whole bunch of really cool um optimization. That's not the right word. Um, what is the options? Options. Yes, let's just go with that. Let's see. Without getting into spoilers, I really love the monster designs. Um, yeah, I just love that they are all kind of goofy. Um, they're again really great sprite work, by the way. I love sprite games. Uh, Honestly, don't particularly enjoy the ultra realistic style that a lot of modern video games are going with. Uh, yeah, always choose a good sprite game over that kind of crap. What else? What else? Without spoilers, without spoiling things, without spoiling things. Okay, I'm sure something will come to me. The footage you're seeing is stuff that I recorded myself. I'm in the post game. the moment. Oh, on the subject of nonlinear progression, I'm not 100% sure what's actually required to beat the game. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, without getting into spoilers, I'm not obviously beating the final boss triggers the your access to the end credits and the post game and stuff, but I'm not technically sure what's actually required for that. I don't know what changes if you don't do certain things. It's interesting. Uh, Lots and lots of optional stuff with this. I'll say that the post game is definitely has a bunch of fun stuff to it, but just at a certain point, which I have reached, it just sort of becomes grinding. Which, it's not super good, but again, the game is fun. Um, I've stuff you're seeing on the screen is after I beat the main game, I used to sort of looked up, hey, what's the most broken stuff you could do with this game? I actually checked it out, and yeah, the little headshot this thing that I'm doing is really damn strong. Yeah, completely busted. Um, hmm, I'm really rambling here, huh? Uh, can't talk too much about the game's story without providing spoilers. Ah, times like these, I really should like write some kind of script to work off of. I really should. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. I'm Shepard Chong. Set Beast is great. I recommend it. Go buy it. Yeah. Goodbye.